Dobry. This is Pan Pavel, Paul Romejko, originally from Long Island,
Dzień
New
dobry.
York. Dzień dobry. Paul and I met in summer 1984. We were both in the art course at the Akademii Sztuk Pięknych, the Art Academy of Krakow, Poland. On the summer course for foreigners, we were the first, among the first Westerners to be back in Poland after suppression of solidarity with martial law. And there were about 10, 11, maybe 12 of us in the art group. And I saw Paul one other time since in 2006. I visited Chicago on my way to Bloomington, Illinois, where I had an exhibit at Illinois Wesleyan University. Paul himself is a photographer of note, does beautiful work, and works as a graphic designer, and he's making his first trip to Seattle in the Pacific Northwest.
And it's beautiful so far.
Oh, great. And he just got in yesterday evening, hasn't seen much at all. So we're with my recent drawing here, and I think Paul has some interesting observations here.
Well, Kiva, since I'm a photographer, I see that you're working from the photograph, and there's a lot of stuff you're interpreting and adding. And in other words, you're using it as a point of departure.
Mm-hmm.
You're filling in the blanks. Where is that material coming from? Where you're adding to? What's the source? What's your inspiration?
Well, some of it's literal inspiration. These two sections, which look very similar, were from a fresco in I think it was an early 17th century wooden synagogue in Poland. I took also related to photographs that were taken in Poland in the 1920s and 30s by Polish architectural historians who documented all these wooden synagogues that were subsequently burned to the ground. So I'm taking like black and white imagery and I'm reinterpreting it here in color and in some ways decorative, in a kind of decorative sense, which to me, in terms of those two sections and this one in the middle, also from a different, from a wooden bima, the center of a synagogue in the sanctuary, also from a wooden synagogue from Poland. I think that one is from the 18th century. But even though these aren't literally seen here in her clothing, when I look at her and her clothing, the verticals and horizontals in the blouse, the blanket wrapped around her, the scarf, this mysterious section here by her ear, even her skirt, and the sections where she was a multiple amputee, according to the caption in the photograph when I first saw it. It's all extremely textural and rich with kind of line and movement and surface decorative patterning in a broad sense. So I'm kind of enhancing that, and as you say, I'm kind of bringing it to a different, in terms of these sections which aren't literally seen in the photograph of the victim, it fits to me within a general sense of I just see all these things could have been very colorful in terms of the blouse.
Right.
This could have been a bright green blanket, for example. The kerchief scarf could have been bright colors also. So in a way, I'm thinking, I'm just kind of following that same vein of thought. But some things happen in the, what I call like, what Herbert Reed, the late British art historian from the kind of interwar years, described as the magic of art making. You know, you make art, composers compose, writers write, and then you have to kind of come up with brouhaha afterwards to explain why you did it. Who knows why you did it? It happens. I don't mean to demean, but there's a certain level of mysteriousness to me, to art making, that you can't explain.
Right. Well, thanks, Akiva. I can't wait to see it when it's further on.
Dziękuję bardzo, pan.
Do widzenia.
Reliving old times here. Okay, there you have it. Take care, everybody. To be continued.